This is a really long situation that I wasn't gonna cover, but I decided to cover it because there are updates in April. This started happening in March. So all of this starts with this post posted by your local ghost or Ghosty B, Honey Ghost VTuber. That's so cute. Writing TLDR, do not work with Whisper VT. This was posted on March 16th. I wanted to cover this when it dropped. I literally had a flight to Asia that day. So they write, as it has been days since this incident occurred and the client hasn't reached out to me at all about this, I have no choice but to make this public. Artists do not accept commissions from Whisper VT. They will send a request and say everything is good, only for a chargeback to be made days later. They'll claim their PayPal was hacked, yet do nothing about it. I completed an animation commission for this person on 26th of February. I showed them each step of the process, always said it looked good to them, and they expressed excitement about it being complete. 2 days later, I got a chargeback email. I reached out to them about the situation and they claimed they were hacked. I had a sneaking suspicion that it wasn't it, but I gave them the benefit of doubt and said I hope they get the issue resolved. Just in case though, I submitted my evidence. On March 13th, PayPal went in their favor. Not only that, but they pinned a dispute fee on me, making it to where I have to pay back $50 instead. I know it may not seem like much to some, but it is to me. This is my only way of making a living, of saving up to move out. It's been 16 days since this whole ordeal has happened. They definitely have gotten an email about this at some point, as well as the case being in their favor. They have not made an effort to get the issue solved, nor have even offered to pay the artist back for the whole situation. I know you're saying this due to you being tagged. I know it was a 2-frame animation, but seriously? And you did this to not just me, but other artists? Don't go on about being hacked. You know damn well something would have been done by now. If you really were sorry, you would reach out to all the artists and work with them to repay each and every one of us. Artists beware. So this one is different because this isn't an artist scamming a client, but the client scamming the artist. And Goosty adds, I was originally going to post this as a thread, but I'm tired of putting those together all the time. So that's why there's the hack parts. We have a couple other posts. So here we have a post by Mimyu, who goes by the Twitter handle Ma Medha, writing VTuber artist scammer alert, exposing Whisper VT or Midnight VTuber or Sharky VT or Whisper alt or Whisper sister for various reasons, including scamming art, stealing art, tweets claimed as hers, and almost scamming me, a thread. So here we have Whisper's alt account, Midnight VTuber, the other account as well. It all started when Whisper VT made a post about wanting a free banner art. So I reached out to her, and so far her responses were what? I'm not sure what this word is supposed to be. Well, so far her responses were suspicious considering an artist is willing to give her free art. Her first slip up was this. So this is a conversation between Mimyu and Whisper. So this is about Whisper's, I guess, OC, and Whisper says she's a ghost and she's calm. Mimyu says, okay, I'll see what I can do. By the way, did you buy this from Etsy? Whisper says, no, actually. And Mimyu says, then? And Whisper says, my artist made it for me. And Mimyu says, I can tell by the art style that Honeycutt made it. And she put this model on Etsy. And Whisper says, huh? And Mimyu says, you're not the only one with this model. And they say, huh? And Mimyu sends Honey's post, where you can see Honey was showcasing the VTuber model and saying that she's gonna list it on Etsy. And Whisper says, oh, I thought you said, did you buy it with your own money? I read it wrong, whoops. And Mimyu says, wait, if that's right, then why did you say this? Replying to Whisper's comment, which said, my artist made it for me, which is a lie. Then Mimyu adds, okay, let's say that was a mistake. But no, she actually has multiple accounts to scam people. One day Whisper messaged me that a friend of hers needed my help, aka commission me a banner art. So I tell her to ask her friend to DM me. So here, this is between Mimyu and Midnight Shark Kitty, where Midnight says, hi, I'm Whisper's friend and wanted to commission you. And Mimyu says, hello, nice to meet you. Sorry for the late reply, but Whisper just now told me about the DM. So you want to commission me. Might I ask what made you want to come to me? And Midnight says a banner or profile photo. And then Mimyu says, I'd like you to read my TOS. Midnight asks for PayPal. Mimyu says no, but that they can receive payment through PayPal Zoom if you live in an eligible country. So Midnight says, yeah. Mimyu says, may I ask where you live? And Midnight says, United States. Note they text the same too, right? Or very similarly. Whisper tends to send very short one-word responses. And Mimyu adds, this friend was Midnight VTuber, currently changed her Twitter handle and name to Whisper's alt account, which at the moment was impersonating another VTuber, Your Shark Princess, from her name, profile photo, and banner. So this is Midnight, right? Where it says VTuber Shark, look at the profile photo, look at the banner. Oh, this is the VTuber, Your Shark Princess, same profile photo, same banner. So not only are they a scammer, they're also stealing identities out here now. Mimyu writes, things are getting pretty sus in DMs that actually made me do a deep search through Midnight's account. I asked her references when she gave me an illustration and AI picture for banner reference. For clarification, I asked for the artist of the first picture where she says it's hers. Where you can see Midnight sends a art piece of her design And they add, here's the banner idea, but replace the cat as a pink shark. And Mimyu asks who drew it, and Midnight says that they did. Then Mimyu adds, need a VTuber model for me. Here's my VTuber art I made. Can my ears be cat ears? Da 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 da. They're like begging for art. Note the post below is also begging for art and money. Then they say, okay, so I need help on my banner. Can anyone make it for free? This is what I want, but replace the cat as a pink shark, please. And no, I don't want to pay for this, please. This is just gross. Ew. Like, if you can't afford it and you want to ask for some free art, I mean, if you want to make a call out post, that's chill. But like, the wording, I don't want to pay for this, please, just rubs me the wrong way because it feels like you're just devaluing art. Also, if you drew this like you claim, then can't you just change the cat to a shark? Then Memu adds, I actually found the original artist of that post proved my suspicions. That picture was fan art for Mo Naomi by this artist on Instagram. So here you can see the art piece posted in r/virtual YouTubers by user ulord, and this is the VTuber. Mimi said, so I confronted her and made her change her banner and profile photo. This was her first warning. So Mimi says, I did some digging. You're pretending to be somebody else. And secondly, you stole this art and claimed it's yours. So I suggest you stop doing that. Obviously, I will not be doing your commission. I know you saw my message and probably thinking of blocking me, but I have all the evidence around you. Midnight says, no, I wasn't gonna block you, and Mimi says that I suggest you take your pinned tweet down. That art isn't yours. The character itself already exists and he's still active to this day. And Midnight says, I took it all down, and Mimi says, take your profile photo and banner down too. That's another VTuber. And here you can see Midnight changed it. And Mimi says, while this was going down, her actual account Whisper VT DMs me. At this point, I was pretty sure Whisper and Midnight was the same person because of their short responses. So Whisper says, how did it go with her? Mimi responds, if she really is your friend, you should know by now. And Whisper says, wait, what happens? Also notice the same way of typing, right? Whisper also doesn't capitalize the first letter. Mimi told Whisper to ask them themselves. Whisper said, I messaged her and she said she was busy. And Mimi says, so she has the time to respond to you, but not to me. How strange. And Whisper says, but for real, what happened? I think it's also weird because it sounds sus, you know? And Mimyu adds, and I'm pretty sure I remember Whisper's main account also had the same profile photo and banner like Midnight did, but I couldn't get the proof for that, so I held back. So here they're debating. Whisper says, sorry, my bad. Mimyu says, you've changed, you be a better person, and ask your friend to do the same. Whisper says, I am a good person, let me make a post about it, hold on. And Mimyu says, about what? Whisper says, and posted, oh, she messaged me. Mimyu says, what post did you make? And Whisper says, I checked her Twitter and she changed her profile photo and banner. For some reason, Mimi once again said, if she messaged you, you should know why. And then Whisper says she copied somebody and had to change her banner and profile photo, right? Mimi says, ask her how she's feeling. Whisper says, Kate, hold on. She said she is disappointed in herself. And Mimyu says, good to know. By the way, just take a note, okay? Look, Mimyu asked Whisper this is confusing, to ask Midnight how she's feeling at 12:47. Then Whisper says, Kay, hold on. And then I guess in this 1 minute window, somehow was able to ask the friend how she was feeling about it. The friend responds instantly, I guess, and then Whisper instantly responds back to Mimyu and she says she's disappointed in herself. Interesting. Either she's conveniently, you guys are all online at the same time, or you're like playing two people. And then Mimyu asks about the post. Whisper says, I just told her that copying other people's banner and profile photo is not right, that's all. She said, can you give her another chance? And Mimyu says, why is she saying that to you but not to me? And Whisper says, I have no clue. This is so weird, bro. This is like giving bored behavior. And Mimyu adds, while this was all going on, I kept my bestie Shai Rose to witness it live. This was the last message from the Midnight account that currently changed the handle to Whisper. So here Midnight says, I'm so sorry, please give me another chance, I beg of you. And then they're talking back and forth again, but you can see now it says Whisper alt account, and it was changed to Whisper's alt account. But interestingly, the alt account now has Honeycub tagged. And look at this! This is the expose right here, guys. Whisper made the post. At Midnight VTuber, please don't copy other people's banners or profile photos. That's wrong and not right. But look at this. Look at the reply. Look at the reply, okay? Whisper's alt account replied to Whisper's main account saying, I'm sorry. Because Midnight never existed. Midnight was Whisper on a second account. And once they changed the brand of the second account to their alt account, now they look fucking insane. Caught in 4K, bro. Literally caught in 4K. Yeah, prod, it's crazy. So now we're gonna go to another call out post about Whisper. I'm gonna jump back and forth a little bit because I just want it to flow properly. But we have another post by Shannon Art. Also on March 17th, writing, please artists be careful with this person, Whisper VT. Many artists, including me, were victims of the same thing. I'll share it until this person stops. A few weeks ago, several artists and I shared the same thing, but unfortunately it continues to happen. And Shannon says, posts were in the quote retweets, you can see that the same thing happened to many artists with Whisper. And this was the original post Shannon made on March 3rd, where Shannon writes, I don't do this kind of post. However, it's disrespectful what you're doing to ask for a refund and ask for free art. You shouldn't play with the time and work of many artists, including me. I have proof, and if you want, I can expose them if you need attention, Whisper. And here Whisper writes, hey, at Shannon Art, are we still good for my Yandere banner or no? And they're tweeting this out. Shannon says, Whisper, I didn't want to make this public, but you shouldn't demand this without making yourself responsible for paying for the commission and asking for a refund, then giving empty justifications that you were hacked to get free art. It's disrespectful what you're doing to artists. Shannon says, I add this here because you want to hint at disrespectful things towards my work, my time, and my art, and I'm not going to allow that. Please stop making empty excuses without evidence. You deleted the post because you know you're acting wrong. If you want to start a situation like this, I am open to defend myself with evidence included. And I'm sure a lot of artists with the same situation with you will join in. And if you thought that was the end of it, unfortunately, there's more, because this is literally what, like the craziest beggar on Twitter. Here we have Miru Altheris writing, Shannon, I support you because some time ago I also got this from Whisper. It is very unfortunate that something like this happened, but I hope that Whisper can be remembered again, because I have sent the file he ordered via VGen. I also have evidence of what he did. Thank you for speaking up about this incident. Hopefully this incident can be resolved soon and will not happen again. And Miru adds that Whisper asked for a refund after the commission was completed. And then we have another person. So Nini Yume adds, I'm here to support you, Shannon Art, because the same thing happened with me twice. First, she said my PayPal got hacked and I feel okay, it might be hacked. But now again, the same thing with me with her new PayPal. She said it also got hacked. How can I believe this? And Nini adds, she also deletes all tweets about PayPal because she knew she's playing dirty. Plus, it's not my thing to say scammer, but I think she is a scammer. And she's doing this with every other artist. Now, until @Whisper closed all the case on PayPal, I'm not going to stop posting about her. There is this theory where Hystenia writes, I generally think that they're a kid and aren't being hacked but getting suspended because they can't provide enough info that they aren't. From the proof they provided, it very much seems like it. They to me do talk like a kid. But kid or not, you're actively out here trying to scam people. So back to the quote retweet, Shannon writes, you like my post and I hate it. If I haven't blocked you yet, it's because I still have an open case with you at the banking level and PayPal, Whisper. Quote, my PayPal was hacked, end quote. It wasn't even from it, so what did you do? Before you lie again, I guess somebody else also hacked your bank, huh? Being sarcastic. Yeah, this is definitely like very childlike behavior. Then we have another person. Shy or Shy Rose adds, PSA, never do this. Whisper VT. By the way, I want to add, there's another VTuber by the name of Whisper VT with no underscore. Whisper's name is Whisper underscore VT. But Shy writes, Whisper forgot to credit my friend who made their banner for free, deleted it like it never existed, and only posted appreciation after being confronted. Artists deserve respect. Don't take their work for granted. And here, these are DMs between Shy and allegedly Whisper, right? Where Shy says, yeah, where's your post about them? Did you even make an appreciation post for the free art? Because I don't see it anywhere. You're only doing it now because I messaged you. Whisper says it's on my Twitter, and Shy says, when did you post it? Just now? Whisper says, yes. Also, why are you attacking me? Shy says, who's attacking who? I'm asking questions because I care about my friend. She doesn't deserve to be treated like this, and honestly, no one does. I'm upset that this is only being brought up now, and Whisper says, I forgot. Shy adds, and she even refused to delete it when I asked her to, now claiming she appreciates it when I checked her account because of the issue. My friend's art was nowhere to be found. And Shy adds, so I confronted her. She acted like she didn't know anything, and after only changing the banner and making an appreciation post after being called out. If she truly loved and appreciated it, she would have kept the banner instead of deleting it. And Shy adds, I thought I did post, but I sadly did not. Or this is what Whisper says, sorry. And Shy says, you know what, just delete the art. I don't want you using my friend's work. You don't deserve it. Whisper says, I'm not deleting something that was worked on with their bare hands. They spent hours working on it, and I love the art they did for me. By the way, I want to add that it's funny they could have this sentiment about the artwork, but this sentiment didn't extend to them paying the artist or not scamming the crap out of them. You know, like, oh, they worked on it with their bare hands and spent hours on it, but I'm not going to pay you. And Shy adds, if you actually appreciated it, you would have shown it off from the start instead of forgetting about it. Just take it down. And Whisper says no. And then Shy adds a clarification for the account because it's Whisper underscore VT. Oh my God, baby boy. Whee! He was trying to jump on my PC again. My tinfoil hat theory is like what you guys are saying. I think that Whisper's a kid, and either they made a PayPal and they faked the information to try to like prove they're 18 or something, then got caught because they couldn't verify it, or they used a parent's PayPal or something, got caught by their parents, and then got in trouble. Back to Mimiu's thread, they added, I thought this is the end of the matter, but no. I saw Shannon's post of Whisper and a lot of people coming out with saying that Whisper has scammed multiple, found that Whisper steals tweets and more. Post stealing. Here we have SCAMS, VTuber writing, VTubers should take a course on communication. There are so many instances of callouts that are just petty high school drama that could be avoided by talking things out privately. There are genuinely bad people doing illegal things. Those people should be focused on, in my opinion. And here you can see Whisper literally posts that verbatim, like copy and paste. And here SCAMS replies to their tweet rating. There are people in the community who harass people, assault, abuse people, da-da-da-da-da. And Whisper's next post was that. And I'm guessing this is also SCAMS' words as well. Miu adds, now why this thread, you might ask? It's because she continues her act of innocence and playing the victim to this day, trying to scam more and more artists. Thus, I made these comments under her post. Now, here's a thread of me exposing myself. My intentions here were simple, to let her know I have evidence and make a deal with her like I did with her alt. Yes, I did use harsh language. So here Mimiu is asking Whisper to stop their innocent act, and Whisper says, and if I don't? Mimiu says, if you really want to be a VTuber paving fame and name. And then in response to the if I don't, Mimiu says, so you agree that you're indeed acting innocent. And Whisper says, so you're threatening me to get your point. And Mimiu says, all I have to do is delete every tweet you've copy pasted, every art you've claimed to be yours, and apologize for everything you've done. And Whisper says, why should I apologize? If anything, you should apologize because now I have proof of you threatening me. Mimiu was saying that I got the Midnight account to change their profile photo and stuff. I can do more to you. And Mimiu says, ooh hoo hoo, Midnight, I won't go there if I were you. We can come to a peaceful agreement and I'll stay quiet. How does that sound? And then Mimiu adds, but this goes on. Whisper made another account at Whisper's sister after all those messages and DMs me. I don't know what her intentions were, but I never opened it. At this point, I was pretty tired and wanted to ignore it. And the account is at Whisper's sister. I love my sister at Whisper VT. Go follow my sister at Whisper VT. And then the location is with my big sister. Is this person like 12? And you can see Whisper's big sister VT messages Mimiu. This is crazy. I literally had this happen to me with a VTuber that also faked Life End and then made a sister account to then message me too. But they at least made an attempt at making it look convincing because this is not convincing at all. And I know the VTuber is alive because their account is back again, so. This person is literally 12 or like literally has all the time in the world. Mimiu adds, then another artist reached out to me saying she was scammed through PayPal, even after warning her twice. Continues her serial scams, faking, and copy pasting. And here, this is the other person at Lamoon writing, hi, I want to talk to you about Whisper. Did they scam you too? Mimi says, hi, they didn't scam me, but almost did. I caught one of their accounts red-handed when I tried to commission me. And Atlas says, I'm on a call-out rant right now. They took back the money they paid me for a commission, started a PayPal case, and I lost the case. Found out they used fake pics of other people online, even has a fake sister with a Twitter page, and even uses room pictures of other people of interest. She fakes her whole life. And Mimiu adds, the other account used to copy the entirety of a VTuber named Shark Kitty. And Atlas says, oh my goodness. Wait, so Whisper is a real VTuber? This account just fakes to be them? And Mimiu says, now they're trying to get free stuff to feed into this Whisper character now. The model she uses is a free model drawn by Honeycup. And Mimiu adds, this post she made was deleted later because every time she gets caught, the evidence gets deleted. This isn't the first and most definitely isn't the last. And here, Whisper posts, I will draw your characters, drop them in the comments, please. And they post an art graphic for a cheapy art raffle. And that is actually a post made by Popo, and that is their raffle that Whisper stole. Mimiu continues, I found another account at Midnight VTuber. Sounds familiar, right? Yes, she used this at again and used the same model and tried to get art out of me. So here somebody made artwork for Midnight VTuber. And then here Midnight's pinned tweet once again is the same model writing, I need a VTuber model for me. Here's my VTuber art. I made can my ears be cat ears with cute ears. I have the model for free. And Mimiu adds, this account, the new Midnight VTuber account, is currently stealing other people's live 2D models and showcasing it as her own. So here in Midnight post, commission open for 2D model DM for order. So here we have Artsy Rogue. Midnight Moon adds, hey VTuber, are you looking for 2D model commission open? That is a showcase that is posted by this YouTuber MG-Sake. And Mimiu adds, this is just my side of the story. I barely dodged a bullet of getting scammed, but it didn't stop her from scamming others. There's way too many young artists who are new to Twitter accounts who are still getting scammed by Whisper to this day. This user needs to be stopped. It continues. We have more. We have Twitter user MihiMax, who goes by the handle MihiArt. They posted a commission they did for Whisper VT for Twitch badges. This was posted February 16th. They quote retweeted it on March 14th. Writing, the one that scammed me and the other artist. Be careful. After all the work is done, they ask for a refund, then blame being hacked. I tried to dispute it, but didn't work. I will try to sell it in my coffee shop later. Another artist that got scammed by Whisper. And Alda writes, I'm sorry for what happened to you. Where did they commission you? I'm gonna help you report them. And Mihi says, in VGen, but her account is suspended now. Thank you, Alda. About the tweet theft, there is another one. We have a post by Cassie Calico writing, I knew I'd read this somewhere before. At J Radiant, you should ask for royalties. No, my cat is literally mad too. So Jay posts, okay, actually last post about the drama, since I forgot to put this out there, I hope this can be a valuable lesson for everyone. Be patient and wait for the response from both sides. For the people who do feel guilty about it and would take accountability, I'm extremely grateful to you all. We live and we learn, much love. But for the people who try to hide the fact they have sided with them initially and jump ship like nothing happened, please stay away from me. This was a really, really messy scenario. I covered the whole thing, then I decided to not upload it because by the time I was like done with it, not my editor's fault, mainly my fault. It was like too late. I felt like I just have a video of this situation that will not be uploaded. I don't know. Part of me debates as to whether I should do something with the dead videos. In my organizer, I just have a pile of graveyard videos as what I called it, and they're just dead videos. There's like 5 of them that are like, it just feels like too late now to upload it. I don't know if it's appropriate for a second channel. But look, Whisper literally posted that, but because Whisper doesn't have Twitter Blue, it needs to be broken up into 3 separate posts. It's literally the same post of Jay posted, just chopped up so it fits the Twitter character limit. So we have Atla Moon. Remember the person that was DMing Mimyu? Yeah, so Atla posts, the end of the Whisper VT saga, she faked her own death, whereas she first said it was her mom dying. Her mom might give away her Twitter account because that's what moms do after their child passes, of course. Anyways, let's block and move on. We're not getting our money back, LMAO. And so Whisper writes on, I guess, March 18th, hello, this is Whisper's mom. I wanted to post that Whisper is no longer with us. She died today in a car crash while heading to the beach. She loved and cared about everyone deeply. My only daughter is now gone. I want everyone to know. If you posted about her, please remove it. I don't want anyone involved. She was my best daughter in the world. I hope you all see this. This is not a lie or made up. My daughter actually died in a car crash, and there was nothing I could do. So please take down anything you said or posted about her. This is crazy! Zion says, this screams a minor who needs attention. And Atlas says, it does. She already made a new account, and the location says the exact same thing. I'm blocking them all, LMAO. And Whisper's account says, in the woods with my ghost cat. And this new account, VT Phantom, says, in the woods with my ghost cat. Because yeah, guys, yeah, you know, if your kid dies, the first thing you're gonna do is go to their Twitter accounts, right? And of course, because you're intimately familiar with the drama your child is in, you ask people to take it down. So on the same day, Mimyu posts update, she deleted the previous account I mentioned and has another account, Phantom15134, da 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 da. She's currently trying to sneak to everybody she ever talked to, even me, right under this post. Another attempted scam, artists beware. So again, this is the old Whisper account, and then the Phantom account, just acting like they don't know anything, responding, wait, what happens? And then here's Phantom quote retweeting it, right? Wait, she died in a car crash, OMG, that's horrible. Yeah, source Veloa, trust me, bro. So in replies to that post, the fake Whisper mom post, the people affected are responding. So here we have Shark on Bread saying, me when I'm called out for scamming over 20 people on VGen. Shannon says, today while cooking with my partner, I told him ironically, quote, all that's left for Whisper to make the typical post of, hello, Whisper's mom and she died, end quote, to evade everything. And yes, she finally did it. Then we have this is the Twitter page, Whisper VT Fraud, which is chronicling a bunch of this information. The Callout account writes, this is so sick and demented. You would rather stage your fake death than be accountable for the awful things you've done to artists. All these threads about you aren't going anywhere. I hope more artists and VTubers find out about you. You knew what you were doing was a scam. That's crazy. And again, there's another VTuber by the name of Whisper who goes with the handle Whisper VT. It is not them. It's Whisper_VT. Okay, there's a difference. Not Wisp. So then on their page on March 20th, Whisper comes clean, writing, I deeply regret my actions. I scam artists and there's no excuse for my behavior. I understand the harm I've caused by undermining their trust and devaluing their work. I take full responsibilities for my actions. As a first step to making amends, I'm returning all the money I took from the artist. I'm committed to doing everything I can to rectify the situation and am taking steps to ensure this never happens again. To those I hurt, I'm truly sorry. And Obnoxious responds, thank you for taking responsibility. Whisper says, you're welcome. Whisper on the same day posts, I regret my actions and the pain they caused. If you're willing, I'd like to talk and try to make amends. I'm truly sorry. And somebody's being a little bit harsh here. Whisper did a lot wrong, but they clearly sound young. If they were an adult, I would hold them to a different standard. They clearly sound like a kid. So Whisper makes a couple of posts here about wanting to draw people's OCs, and then they make another post. So on March 22nd, Whisper writes, this is in reply to a post that's deleted, but Whisper responds, the truth is I was trying to hide from people I scammed, and in my panic, I made a terrible decision that affected you. I feel awful for causing you so much pain, worry, confusion, and the feeling of betrayal that led you to block me. I completely understand if you need space. Then there is some more stuff. On March 24th, makes a post writing, and the post is deleted. Guys, this is Whisper VT on another account stealing Mo Naomi's OC. She won't learn. Just be aware she's already asking for free stuff. And the account has been suspended, but it went by the name theonlycoral_VT. And Atlas says, Mo Naomi, I'm so sorry for having to drag you into this. Whisper is a big scammer and liar and has been stealing art, faking her death, and a lot more. Now stealing your art. So sorry for having to warn you for her. That is unfortunate. And we have this person, Alice, responding, I'm bad at determining alts, but she follows this one and it's using AI art, asking for free art, and talking about followers the way one of her other alts does. The shadow_VT. Note, remember this, remember the account, it was the coral, but the coral was capitalized, like the C_VT. Now we have the shadow where the S is capitalized _VT. Okay, AI art. The pinned tweet is, hi community, I'm looking for a banner to use for my Twitter. I'd love if somebody could help me out with a free design or share one I could be used. I'd be happy to give credit or promote your work in return. Any suggestions or assistance would be greatly appreciated. And look at the location, on the stage rocking out. Note how Whisper really likes to add something quirky to the location tag. Just interesting. Then we have Atla on the same day making another post writing, emailed and contacted her school. Hopefully this is over soon as she's also a minor. Don't argue or send hate towards her, just block. It's a kid still, sadly. I hope she gets the guidance she needs through parents and or school. And Shannon adds, thanks for warning us, Atla. I hadn't noticed. She followed me too. And I'm glad you were able to contact directly and report it to her school. I hope she can have the guidance she needs and attend therapy. All of this is getting out of hand. She has no limits. Atlas says, yeah, I've also contacted her mom, so I hope either the school, her mom, or both will help her out and supervise her. So Miru responds, oh my gosh, is this still going on? And what's worse is that she's still a minor, but she's doing a lot of things she shouldn't be doing. And Atlas says, yeah, luckily I found her mom and sent her a message too. I hope they get to pick this up. It's a dangerous place for kids to be on here scamming and trying to get away with men way older than them. I think even though the anger, we've all been patient with her, but it can go wrong. And Lambriel responds, honestly, a good move if they're really that young. No amount of people online telling them off will change anything unless they see actual tangible repercussions. Atlas says, yeah, they also seem to crush on men that are a lot older than her on Twitter, trying to DM them or reach them through her posts. So it's no safe space for her here. How did Pom Pom Purry make it in here? This one is like an interesting thing. I am curious as to your thoughts. Do you think it is appropriate if they had the reasons to, like the means to, right, to contact Whisper's school and parents? I don't know how old they are, so it does change the conversation. I'm curious as to your thoughts on what you should do, right? Because some people might think it's like doxing or violating to do it. I do think that in a case like this, to protect the child, I think that the parent should be contacted. Because the kid is out here scamming money out of people. They've probably, given how many people they've scammed, they're probably at least $100 plus. Like at bare minimum, lowest estimate at least. And you can't have a kid out here scamming people for hundreds of bucks on the internet. I think in this situation, because this kid is like speed running a really bad situation, in response to Atla reaching out to Whisper's school and parents or mom to try to reel Whisper back from their behavior, Whisper posts, okay, I need to address this and this is serious and I'm not going to be pointing out names, but to this person, I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention my family or where I live. It makes me uncomfortable and I'm ending this convo now. Also, my real name, this makes me really uncomfortable. Please respect my boundaries. Reposts are required. Also, where I go to school is creepy. Like, who does that? And Goosty says, you know your PayPal was connected to your school email, right? That's how we found out. Stop scamming, impersonating, and lying. By the way, no way they use their school email to make their PayPal. That means they dox themselves, right? Like if your email is your full name at school.edu, well, I don't know what to tell you, but you provide all the information, you know? Then the next day, Whisper on their Twitter page posts, "A bunch of people on here are so stupid. Why are you doxing me? That's disgusting. What's wrong with y'all? I don't deserve this. I'm human too. I'm like y'all. I'm literally an adult. I don't deserve this. Y'all disgust me. Y'all need to think about what you guys have done. This is wrong. This needs to be stopped like right now." By the way, your school can just pull your email whenever they feel like it. I've lost my school emails. Yeah, don't connect that to your PayPal. Then Whisper claimed they bought all the art with their own money. Then they said they were gonna go offline. Then we have a turn. We have a turn in this situation because guess what? Whisper's mom is back. So on March 30th, Whisper on their page posts, "She is in fact a minor. You can't legally bind a minor contractually, financially, or otherwise, and should not have been executing commissions or anything else with her to begin with. I have recently become aware of the situation and am working with the school to address matters." And Whisper says, "This is the mother of Whisper VT, Hannah Kosen 68, the real Lauren's Hyde 8, and there may be others. For those of you doing business with her, you need to take accountability for your part in all of this. Each and every one of you knew she was using a school email and was likely a minor. If you're aware of any other accounts than the 3 listed above, please provide the information so those accounts can be closed as well." And Allison Games comments, "Back to pretending to be her mother again. If you're really her mother, you'd be more concerned about the legal ramifications of your daughter using your credit card to do fraudulent chargebacks through your bank, since the chargebacks were through the bank, not PayPal." And Whisper says, "This is her mother. I'm dealing with the matters directly with her and the school. You seem to know about it to know that she wasn't using a card in her name. But that didn't stop you from moving forward with the transaction, did it?" But guys, do you think that Whisper learned? Do you think that Whisper has learned their lesson and stopped their behavior? Take a guess, guys. Oh my god. So, we have a post posted by Twitter user per_orange. Goes by the handle Daisy Baca. I'll call them Daisy. Daisy posts, "Just a warning. At VT_acid has stolen one of my OCs drawn by Mesli Art and is currently acting like they own them. We contacted them directly, but they have ignored us and not taken down any posts. I currently own this design and they do not have the permission to use it." VT_acid or Toxic Acid writes, "Why am I seeing so many Smasher passes, but screw it, I want to try." They post Smasher pass and they post the model where you can see the Metzli watermark is still on it. And this is the toy house where you can see the owner is Daisy. Created a year and a month ago, creator is Metzli. So Daisy adds the proof of toy house ownership, and they write, "They also seem to be posting and using AI art as references before they stole my OC to use. If you see this VT_acid, please take down all of the posts, including the black tip shark, immediately. Both me and Metzli really don't appreciate her work being used like this. It is really upsetting to see. I also hate to make this public, but they have actively ignored me and Metzli in DMs, so I need to make sure they have seen this. And no, they do not have permission to use this character. Also, please do not harass them." Alice posts, "Just so you know, this is an alt of Whisper VT, who is a known scammer of artists. Many of her alt accounts are listed here, Whisper_VT fraud, but she has done a lot of things, false chargeback, pretended to be her mother and sister, faked her own death, etc." A lot of people recognized that this is Whisper on an alt account. Again, another alt account because they just don't know when to stop. Okay, this is the account. They've renamed it since to whaleshark_VC. You can see it still says Toxic Acid, still has that stolen artwork that they haven't taken down. And look at the location. Look at the location. Swimming in a dark place. Guys, remember, Whisper's MO is doing stuff like this. You know, the name_VT with the one-liner location and begging for art. Yeah, notice they joined March 2025. And then April 11th, a day later, Whisper on their 100th alt account says, "I have been sent death threats and I want to say that I'm sorry for my actions. I was looking for a shark art and I didn't find one and wanted to use this one and I thought it wasn't taken, but I'm sorry." Which, like, this is also wild to me. Like, they're a kid, so they just don't know. And this is crazy, but like, what do you mean you saw it and you thought nobody owned it, so you took it? That's not how adopts work. You don't just take it. This comment just made me laugh. This person, Koichi, writes, "VT Acid. Acid, this is your mother. Delete all posts related to this shark girl or I will remove your Nintendo Switch rights." Meme it on the mom thing. And then here we have the art begging. The day after, "I'm gonna start over. I don't have a cute shark design. Can somebody make it for me?" And more proof that this account belongs to Whisper. But remember that other fake account that they were using that has this like AI design they were using? Yeah, well, that is like all this Whisper, this account posts. Here they have an AI shark design, and then they just started spamming this artwork under everything. Crazy, 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 guys. Oh, but yeah, this was the other account. So they had, remember that shadow account, right? The shadow VT, and I was using this AI. Yeah, it's still Whisper. My final thoughts about this, guys. Don't send hate to them. Don't send hate to any parties involved for that matter. But like, genuinely, what do you do in this scenario if you have a kid just running rampant on the internet, scamming people, making it like a bajillion alts that's constantly stealing from people? I think the only solution is for there just to be the call out post so people are aware and people just are aware to not engage with you, because I don't know, right? Like, contacting the parents is, I mean, that happens, I think, according to them anyways. But literally, what do you do, you know? It's just kind of finicky. What do you do? I don't know. I have no idea. It's a tricky, tricky little scenario, guys. But I hope Whisper can get the help they need, because it sounds like they truly need help. I'm not trying to say this in a mean way, but genuinely, like, their behavior is like really out there. Hopefully they grow out of it as they get older. But they'll need like checks and balances for that to happen. But yeah, if you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Cooking up some cat merch, so you'll see that soon. And I also have a VGen with some art and stuff, and I also have a coffee with free resources for streamers and content creators. Also, if you saw this coverage on Twitch, you're the GOAT. But I'm live on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, 6 p.m. PST. Look at my baby boy. Oh, bye-bye. And I hope to catch you guys in another video. Whoops, hit my mic.